An IRS examination is just an audit. The IRS is verifying items on a filed return. Most returns are accepted as filed because the IRS has limited resources and uses screening to pick a small slice for review. On the EA exam, don't treat an audit like it automatically means wrongdoing. It usually means the IRS wants proof, clarification, or to reconcile third-party information. Audit rates are low overall, but not evenly distributed. The IRS audits roughly about 1% of individual returns, but high-income returns get audited far more often. Returns with total income of $1 million or more have had audit rates around 10.8%. Also, refundable credits, especially the earned income tax credit, are audited at higher rates. Exam tip: when you see EITC, think documentation. The IRS runs most audits through the mail. Roughly 73% are correspondence exams. These are usually narrow, 1 or 2 items like income mismatch, a missing form, or proof for a deduction or credit. A classic example is a CP 2000 notice, where IRS records don't match the return. Another is a request to prove dependency, head of household, or a credit amount. Office and field audits are the in-person versions, and they tend to be broader. An office audit happens at an IRS office and often focuses on deductions, credits, and substantiation. Think itemized deductions or business expenses that need receipts. A field exam happens at the home or business and is common for businesses or complex situations. Exam tip: the audit type is really about where it's conducted and how wide the scope is. Common triggers depend on the audit type. Correspondence exams often start with a mismatch: W-2s, 1099s, brokerage statements, or a claim that needs proof, like EITC or dependents. Office audits often involve larger or unusual deductions compared to income. Field exams can involve businesses, cash-heavy activity, or signs of unreported income. And sometimes the trigger is third-party information, like public records or law enforcement referrals. For a mail audit, your job is substantiation and clean communication. Read the notice carefully and respond only to what's requested. Send copies, not originals, and organize your proof: receipts, bank records, mileage logs, medical records, school records, whatever supports the item. If the IRS accepts the documents, it can close as a no-change audit. And if you later find missing documents after an assessment, audit reconsideration may be available. Marisol is an enrolled agent who has information about possible misconduct involving another tax preparer. What is her responsibility if the IRS Office of Professional Responsibility contacts her? The choices range from no duty to respond to a duty to provide information, and whether she could be required to testify in a disbarment or suspension proceeding. Think about it. The correct answer is, she must furnish the information and may be required to testify. Circular 230 gives OPR authority to request information about possible violations, and practitioners are expected to cooperate. A tempting wrong choice is the one saying she wouldn't be required to testify, because it sounds like just paperwork, but OPR proceedings can require testimony. Mateo's individual return is under IRS examination. 5 months before the statute of limitations expires, the revenue agent wants Mateo to agree to extend the statute. Which statement is true? The options include whether Mateo can refuse, whether the case goes straight to tax court, and whether an extension can be limited to certain issues. Think about it. The correct answer is, the agent must advise Mateo he can refuse, and if he agrees, the extension can be restricted to particular issues. On the EA exam, watch for that key idea: extensions aren't automatically unlimited. A tempting wrong answer is the one implying Mateo can't refuse, because it feels like the IRS controls the timeline, but taxpayers generally can say no.